The announcement echoed across the bustling airport, cutting through the din of voices and rolling suitcases. Final boarding call for Flight 287 to Seattle. Emma Brooks sprinted, her boots striking sharp rhythms against the gleaming floor, her coat fluttering behind her like tattered wings catching a last gust of hope. Her eyes darted wildly over gate numbers, each one a blur. Her backpack bounced against her spine with every desperate stride. But she didn't care. She was so close. Just a few more feet and she'd make it. Just a few more feet and... Help! Please! Someone? The fragile plea slipped through the air like a cracked whisper, halting her mid-step. Emma turned instinctively. There, near a line of cold, empty chairs, slumped an elderly man in a wrinkled gray coat. A cane lay at his feet, abandoned. His hand clutched his chest, his eyes wide with terror and pain. Time froze. Ahead of her loomed the gate, open now, still boarding. The chance she'd worked an entire year to earn just steps away. Flight 287 would carry her to Seattle, to a once-in-a-lifetime job interview that could rewrite her entire future. This wasn't just another flight. It was the culmination of endless double shifts, sleepless nights, and quiet sacrifices. She could see her destiny wading through the glass, everything she had dreamed of standing on the other side of that jet bridge. But then the old man let out another strained breath, weaker this time, and Emma's heart spoke louder than logic ever could. She turned on her heel and ran back. Emma Brooks, 29, never thought of herself as extraordinary, just a part-time waitress and caregiver from Cleveland, Ohio. The eldest of four, raised by a single mother who had drilled one lesson deeper than any other. Kindness isn't what you have, it's what you give. And Emma gave, always. Today, she gave up what felt like everything. She knelt beside the old man, hands steady despite the pounding in her chest. She asked if he could breathe, checked his pulse, elevated his legs. Everything she'd learned while caring for senior patients came rushing back like instinct. Within minutes, airport staff were surrounding them. Paramedics followed. Amid the chaos of stretchers and emergency chatter, the plane took off. Her name echoed over the intercom. Once, twice, then silence. By the time the old man was stabilized and whisked away, Flight 287 was gone. So was her interview. So was the dream. Emma sat alone at gate 16, the crumpled boarding pass pressed between her fingers like a failed lottery ticket. Tears welled in her eyes. Not from regret, but from exhaustion. That flight represented everything. A position at a nonprofit dedicated to children with disabilities. A job that aligned with her heart and soul. The interview was set for the next morning. No more flights would arrive in time. She texted a short apology to the hiring manager, then turned her phone off. A janitor sweeping nearby paused, noticing her expression. "You okay, miss?" he asked softly. Emma wiped her face and nodded. "Yeah, just missed my flight." The man gave her a knowing look, one that seemed to say he'd seen stories like hers before, then moved on without another word. Hours passed. Emma wandered the terminals aimlessly, dragging her worn bag behind her, unsure where to go or what to do. Her bank account was nearly empty, her options even fewer. But as she passed a small coffee shop tucked between gates, a woman behind the counter called out, "Miss Emma Brooks?" Emma turned, startled. "You've been requested at gate 4. Someone's waiting for you." Emma furrowed her brow, suspicious but curious, and made her way across the terminal. When she arrived, 2 men in sharp suits greeted her with warm smiles. "Miss Brooks, Mr. Harrington would like to meet with you," one said. "Mr. Harrington?" she echoed. They didn't explain. Instead, they led her to a private lounge nearby, dimly lit, plush, and quiet, a stark contrast to the world outside. There, seated in a leather armchair, was the same old man she had helped, now dressed in a navy suit, his posture regal, sipping tea like royalty. "I thought I'd never see you again," he said with a kind smile. "Sit, please." Emma hesitated, stunned. You're okay? I am, thanks to you. She sat slowly, still dazed. I missed my flight. I had a job interview. He raised a hand gently. I know everything. I asked around. Emma's breath caught. Who are you? The old man leaned forward and offered a wrinkled hand. Arthur Harrington, founder and chairman of Sky Legend Airlines. The words struck her like a thunderclap. You own the airline? Technically, he chuckled. My kids run most of it now. I just like visiting airports, watching people. You see the best and worst in them here. He studied her with soft, discerning eyes. And today, I saw something rare. Emma shook her head, speechless. You gave up everything to help a stranger. Most people would have walked right past. You didn't. I just did what anyone should have done, she murmured. That's the problem, he said. Not everyone does, but you did. And you reminded me why I built this airline. Not for profits, but for people. He pulled out his phone and made a brief call. Tell the Seattle office to reschedule Miss Brooks's interview and fly in the board of directors. I want them to meet her. Then he turned back to Emma. If the interview goes well, the job is yours. We'll handle accommodations and salary. Let's just say money won't be your concern anymore. Emma stared at him, overwhelmed. Why? Why would you do this? Because the world needs more people like you, he said simply. And because you helped an old man everyone else ignored. 2 weeks later, Emma strolled through a quiet park in Seattle, sunlight filtering through the trees. A company badge hung from her neck, but her smile carried something deeper than accomplishment. It carried peace. She hadn't just landed the job. She'd been offered the lead role in launching Sky Legend's new charitable wing, an initiative dedicated to supporting elderly travelers, low-income families, and community caregivers. Yet Emma never told the full story. Not to her co-workers, not to the press, not even to the roommates who cheered for her new title. Because for her, kindness wasn't about recognition. It was about doing the right thing, especially when no one's watching. And now, dear viewer, you know who she really is. The woman in that viral video standing beside Arthur Harrington, the one being hailed as the face of the airline's biggest humanitarian mission. That's Emma, the young woman who missed her flight to help a stranger and ended up flying higher than she ever dreamed possible. Kindness doesn't come with a price tag, but it carries the power to open doors that money never could. So the next time life gives you a chance to help someone, take it. Because sometimes, the detour taken out of compassion is the very path meant to change your life forever.